Welcome to Beyond the Dark, where we plunge headfirst into the realms of the unexplained, the mysterious, and the extraordinary. I'm your host, Jay Rockwell, and together we'll navigate the shadowy corridors of ufology, explore the world of cryptids, and venture into the cosmic unknown. From extraterrestrial encounters to the secrets of the paranormal, we leave no stone unturned. Join me as we embark on a journey that transcends the boundaries of reality. Hello everyone from the valleys of Ohio. I bid you good evening. We are now on our third installment of Beyond the Dark, and I'm your host, Jay Rockwell, and we are still doing it. Thank you so much to everyone for coming out last week for the premiere of episode 2, Crop Circles and Their Mysteries. I had a lot of fun doing that one, and we got a lot of love again. Not as many views as the first one, but the like to view ratio is a lot higher. A lot of good comments, a lot of positivity. I appreciate you. I'm still getting over this cold, so if I sound a little off or my energy isn't as high, that is why. So we are going to get into Area 51 and Bob Lazar today. And if you have never, I'm sure you've heard of Area 51, but if you've never heard of Bob Lazar, you're in for a treat. Very interesting person. Remember, folks, we do have a Discord open now for anything Art Bell and Beyond the Dark, and a lot of cool custom emotes if you are an emoticon person. There's a lot of good stuff in there thanks to the co-owner, Oak. He makes all of our emotes. Shout outs to Oak. Also remember, we are right around the corner from Phantom Frequencies, debuting on Halloween night. 2 weeks away, guys. So, 2 weeks, 1 day? Is that what it is? So, while I am always taking stories, experiences, encounters, your emails, period, I am probably going to close for the debut show by this weekend because I want to have that done and ready to go out. And then if your story doesn't make the cut, it's not a big deal because it's not going to be the last Phantom Frequencies, and we're not only going to do them once a year. We're gonna do them a handful of times. I mean, I'm kind of playing with the idea of doing one a month. I think that would be pretty cool. Give you guys something a little spooky every month, not just for Halloween. Very excited about it, though. I got a lot of stories submitted, and I even went and got a library card. I cannot tell you the last time I've had a library card. I felt like a little kid again, and libraries are not, and this is how I know I'm getting old, they are not what they used to be. You can take out an instrument. You can take out board games. You can take out puzzles. You can take out video games. Like, where was this stuff when I was a kid? It was just read. Anyways, I came across some cool local ghost story books for Ohio, and definitely grab those, and probably will be sharing some of those stories with you guys come Halloween night. So yeah, if you're interested in sending in anything, remember it's Beyond the Dark Radio at Outlook.com. That is Beyond the Dark Radio at Outlook.com. Lastly, I want to shout out my coffee supporters. Thank you so much. Coffee is my favorite thing in life, and when you buy me a coffee, it makes me happy. So thank you so much, Michelle, Afros Animation, and there was an anonymous coffee donor. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, so we're gonna get into the news. Today is October 16th, and here's what we got. You might be surprised to hear that it's not just new moms who can face postpartum depression. A recent study from the University of Illinois Chicago shines a light on something we might not have paid attention to: postpartum depression in fathers. Now, this study is more than just a wake up call, it's a call to action. We're talking about the need to engage dads in healthcare right from the early days of fatherhood for the sake of their own well being and the well being of their families. You see, these brave researchers interviewed and screened 24 dads, and guess what? A whopping 30% screened positive for postpartum depression using the same tool we use for moms. It just goes to show we need to ask our new dads how they're really holding up. Dr. Sam Wainwright, the lead author, pointed out something crucial. Many dads out there are juggling work, parenthood, and partner responsibilities. It's a tough act, and more often than not, they're not doing as well as they might seem. But here's the kicker: nobody's asking them about it. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. A woman at risk for postpartum depression is much more likely to experience it if her partner is struggling with it too. So, paying attention to the mental health of dads is a game changer for everyone involved. This study revealed a higher rate of postpartum depression in dads, particularly those from racial or ethnic groups facing additional challenges. It's a stark reminder of how social determinants and structural issues can impact mental health. And folks, it all went down at UI Health's two-generation clinic, a place that recognizes the unique challenges faced by new moms, especially those who might not prioritize their own health. But guess what? They're excellent at making sure their little ones get the care they need. Now, here's where the plot thickens. Dads were often left out of the healthcare equation, but not anymore. The clinic team started chatting with them, and what they heard was eye-opening. Dads, stressed to the max, but not wanting to burden their partners who they're there to support. This study is just the beginning. Dr. Wainwright is on a mission to understand more about dads' experiences, both mentally and physically. He's reaching out in the obstetrics waiting area, talking about screenings, and even looking into other health concerns like high blood pressure. Engaging young men in healthcare can be a challenge. We all know that. But guess what? Fatherhood can be a powerful entry point. Some of the dads in the study who didn't have a primary care physician are now seeking medical care. Some are even asking for mental health services. So, folks, here's the bottom line. We've got to show our dads that taking care of themselves isn't just for them, it's for their babies, their partners, and for their own sake. That's all for now. Remember, we're all in this together. Take care of yourselves and each other. And stay tuned and stay chill. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a fascinating tale that came to light last Wednesday from Russia's Far East. An 80-year-old woman has been discovered to have lived her entire life with an inch-long needle lodged in her brain. Can you believe it? Doctors stumbled upon this astonishing revelation during a routine CT scan. They suspect that this peculiar situation might be the result of a tragic event during World War II. It's believed that in those harsh times of famine, her parents might have attempted a failed infanticide. This was a sadly not uncommon practice back then, as resources were scarce. This brave woman, against all odds, survived with this 3 centimeter long needle in her left parietal lobe since birth. Can you imagine the strength within her? This method was often employed to conceal such heart-wrenching acts. Remarkably, she never once complained of headaches or showed any signs of danger due to this unusual condition. It's truly a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Now, here's the clincher. The doctors have decided not to attempt to remove the needle, fearing it might worsen her condition. They're keeping a close eye on her with regular checkups, ensuring she continues to live her life to the fullest. In times of adversity, stories like these remind us of the incredible strength that resides within each of us. Stay tuned, folks, for more awe-inspiring tales right here on your favorite chill radio show. We've got some fascinating news to share about a groundbreaking development in earthquake forecasting. Researchers have rolled out a game changer called the Recast, a deep learning model that's set to revolutionize how we predict those aftershocks. It's especially good news for those of us dealing with massive sets of seismology data. See, for more over 3 decades, the methods for forecasting earthquake aftershocks have been pretty much stuck in a time warp. They worked okay with small data chunks, but when faced with today's colossal data sets, they stumbled. But not anymore. Enter the Recast model, crafted by the brilliant minds at the University of California, Santa Cruz, and the Technical University of Munich. This bad boy uses deep learning to forecast aftershocks and, trust us, it is a game changer. It's more flexible, more scalable, and just all around better than the old models. In fact, when they put it to test against the old school epidemic type aftershock sequence, ETAS, model, Recast aced it for earthquake catalogs with around 10,000 events and more. According to lead author Kilian Dasher-Kusino, the old ETAS model was built for a different era. We're talking about a whole new ballgame now. But hold on, here's the kicker. We're talking catalogs with millions of quakes, and the old model? Yeah, it was like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It just couldn't handle it. Dasher Kusino mentioned, the ETAS model is kind of finicky. It's like trying to teach an old dog new tricks. Now, this isn't the first time scientists have dabbled in using machines to forecast quakes, but the tech's come a long way, my friends. Thanks to some serious strides in machine learning, the Recast model is now sharper and more adaptable than ever. And here's where it gets exciting. With Recast flexibility, we're looking at potential game changers in earthquake forecasting. Imagine pulling data from different corners of the globe to make pinpoint predictions for areas that haven't had much scrutiny. It's like having a crystal ball for seismic activity. And guess what? We're not stopping there. Soon, we'll be using all that ground motion data we're recording around the clock. It's like leveling up our earthquake forecasting game. So, stay tuned, folks. This technology is just getting started, and the possibilities are as vast as the seismic waves themselves. Here's an interesting piece of nature's quirkiness for you today. Ever stumbled upon the Balanophoridae family of plants in a forest nook and thought they were fungi? Well, you're not alone. These little guys sport structures that look like mushrooms, but are actually clusters of tiny flowers. Here's the kicker. Balanophora, unlike its parasitic plant pals, doesn't just siphon nutrients through a sneaky root extension. It's more of a puppet master. It coaxes its host plant's vascular system into forming a shared underground organ, a bit like a botanical buddy system. Our science sleuth, Dr. Jolly Shane from BGI Research, couldn't resist diving into this mystery. Together with Dr. Sean Graham from the University of British Columbia, they embarked on a genomic adventure. Guess what they found? Balanophora and its parasitic cousin, Cyprea, are genetic minimalists. They've shed a whopping 38 and 28% of their genome, making them the leanest, meanest flowering plants out there. Now get this. They've lost genes linked to photosynthesis, which makes sense since they don't need it. But that's not all. Roots, nitrogen absorption, and even the regulation of flowering got the cut too. It's like they've Marie Kondo'd their genetic makeup, keeping only what truly sparks joy. But here's the kicker. Both these botanical freeloaders ditched the recipe for a major stress-busting plant hormone called abscisic acid. Yet, they've still got it in their stems. It's like they've got a secret stash somewhere. Dr. Graham thinks some of these gene losses might actually be a good thing. Like, losing the ABA pathway might help them sync up better with their host plants. But hey, that's a mystery for another day. Why does any of this even matter? Well, it's like a backstage pass into the secret lives of these parasitic plants. It's all part of a big project to decode the genomes of 10,000 different plant species. So next time you're wandering through the woods, keep an eye out for these botanical bandits, and maybe you'll appreciate their sneaky strategies a little more. I've got a mind-blowing revelation in the world of physics for you. Ever wondered if our reality is just a high-tech simulation? Well, hang on to your seats, because a recent discovery is adding some serious weight to this idea. Scientists from the University of Portsmouth and the Jeremiah Horrocks Institute in the UK have cooked up something called the second law of infodynamics. It's a twist on the second law of thermodynamics, which deals with energy and disorder. Now, this new law suggests that our entire existence might just be a mind-bogglingly advanced computer simulation. Dr. Melvin Vopson, the brain behind this concept, delves deep into various fields: genetics, cosmology, atomic physics, and more. He found that everything, from the genetic mutations in viruses to the way electrons dance around atoms, seems to follow this law, hinting that we might indeed be living in a meticulously crafted digital realm. Imagine our universe as a finely tuned program, where access information gets trimmed away, just like a computer optimizing its storage. Vopson's findings hint at this process, suggesting that our reality might be more like lines of code than we ever imagined. The Matrix, anyone? But hold on, there's more. This theory even speculates that information, the very essence of our reality, could have mass. And if this holds true, we might just detect it in particle collisions. Now, if all of this is making your head spin, don't worry. It is a lot to take in. But just think about the implications. If our world is a simulation, then what's the bigger, more complex system running the show? It's a question that opens up a whole new dimension of inquiry. Who knows? Maybe someday someone will craft a program to answer these cosmic conundrums. Until then, let's revel in the mystery, my fellow cosmic dreamers. Who knew our reality could be so digital? Get ready to be blown away, because we've got some news straight out of the lab that sounds like it's out of a sci-fi flick. Picture this. A teeny tiny piece of platinum, under some serious stretching, develops a microscopic crack. Now, scientists were expecting the usual fatigue crack growth experiment, but hold on to your hats here, because things took an unexpected turn. That crack, it decided to shrink, effectively healing itself. I'm not kidding, folks. This jaw-dropping revelation comes from a team of genius researchers at Sandia National Laboratories. They were dabbling with nanocrystalline metals, and guess what? Their mind-blowing findings were just published in the prestigious journal Nature. Now, before you think this is straight out of Star Trek, Dr. Michael Demkowitz, a materials science pro from Texas A&M University, had a hunch. A decade ago, he and his student predicted this self-healing metal phenomenon. Talk about seeing the future, right? Back then, they stumbled upon this self-healing magic while tinkering with fracture simulations. They were just as surprised as you and me, but guess what? Their simulations were spot on. And after years of tinkering, they finally nailed it in the lab. So, here's the sciencey bit. They used nanocrystalline metals, which are like super tiny, with crystal structures measured in nanometers. Now, don't worry about the engineering lingo, just know that this tiny size made studying self-healing a breeze. Now, what does this all mean for the future? Well, strap in, because the possibilities are endless. Dr. Demkowitz thinks we could see self-healing in regular metals too, not just these nano ones. Imagine the doors this could open, especially in space tech. But But there is a catch here. These experiments happened in a vacuum, no pesky outside interference. So, while it might not be fixing your rusty old car just yet, think about all the incredible potential, especially for things like space travel. And there you have it, folks, a decade of hard work and theory finally paying off in the most mind-bending experiment. Dr. Demkowitz and his team just proved that sometimes reality is even wilder than science fiction. Stay tuned for more mind-blowing discoveries right here on Beyond the Dark. According to groundbreaking research from the Penn State College of Health and Human Development, Purdue University College of Sciences, and the Purdue Institute for a Sustainable Future, a spike of just 1 degree Celsius from current levels could spell serious trouble for billions of us. Picture this. Scorching heat and humidity making it impossible for our bodies to cool down naturally. Yeah, it's a concern, and here's why. If we go beyond 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, it's going to hit human health hard. You know how we can handle a certain mix of heat and humidity before things get dicey? Well, with climate change cranking up the heat worldwide, billions might find themselves pushed to the limit. Since the Industrial Revolution kicked off, we've already seen a 1 degree Celsius rise. Now, remember that Paris Agreement from 2015? It's all about capping global temperature hikes at 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial times. And here's the kicker. The team behind this study modeled scenarios ranging from 1.5 to a worst case 4 degrees Celsius increase. The goal? Pinpoint areas where things could get way too hot and humid for comfort. Co-author W. Larry Kenney, a physiology and kinesiology expert, stressed the importance of this cross-disciplinary collaboration. He said, and I quote, "Collaboration is the only way to understand the complex ways that the environment will affect people's lives." Now for the nitty-gritty. There's a limit, folks. About 31 degrees Celsius for healthy folks and high humidity. But add in factors like physical exertion, wind speed, and solar radiation, and that threshold can shift. So what's at stake? If we hit 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, we're talking 2.2 billion people in Pakistan and India, a billion in eastern China, and 800 million in sub-Saharan Africa, facing some intense heat waves. And get this, these are regions where access to cooling tech might be limited. Now, if we keep climbing to 3 degrees Celsius, places like the eastern seaboard and the heart of the U.S. could be in for a sweltering surprise. South America and Australia won't be spared either. But let's not forget, this isn't just about numbers. These models might not predict the wildest weather events, like the 2021 Oregon heat wave. As lead author Daniel Viccellio pointed out, so even though the United States will escape some of the worst direct effects of this warming, we will see deadly and unbearable heat more often. So what can we do? Well, reducing greenhouse gas emissions is the key. If we don't act, middle and low income countries will bear the brunt. Take Yemen's Al Hudaydah, for example. If we hit 4 degrees Celsius, it could see over 300 days a year of unbearable heat. This is a global issue, folks. Rich or poor, we're all in this together. So, let's spread the word and take action. Stay cool and look out for your neighbors, especially the elderly and sick, when those heat waves hit. This is a wake-up call for all of us. New research is raising some serious concerns about the stuff we use to keep our lawns tidy and our crops healthy. Check it out. A recent study led by the cool cats over at the University of California, San Diego, suggests that those common weed killers we're all familiar with might be doing some funky stuff to adolescent brains. Yeah, you heard me right. These herbicides, the stuff we spray to get rid of weeds, turns out they might not be as harmless as we thought. Glyphosate and 2,4-D are the big players here. researchers found that exposure to these chemicals was linked to not so great brain function in teenagers. Now, they took samples from 519 teens aged 11 to 17 living in an agricultural area in Ecuador. They found that this glyphosate stuff was in a whopping 98% of the samples. That's some pretty widespread use, huh? And 2,4-D? Well, it wasn't far behind, showing up in 65% of the samples. What's more, higher levels of 2,4-D in the urine were connected to lower scores in attention, memory, and language skills. Not exactly the news we wanted to hear, right? But here's the thing. These chemicals have become mega popular since the introduction of genetically modified crops that can resist them. They're everywhere now, making them the big players in the world of weed killers. But here's the real kicker. The study suggests that these chemicals might not just be messing with teens' brains. They might be impacting people of all ages. That's a big deal, especially if you live in an area where these chemicals are used a lot. So what's the takeaway? Well, we've got a lot of chemicals out there, and we're not exactly sure about their long-term effects on us. More research is definitely needed to get the full picture. This study is part of a larger project called ESPINA, which looks at how pesticides affect folks from childhood all the way to adulthood. It's funded by some pretty important names, including the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences. So here's the deal, folks. Let's keep an eye on this. It's important to know what we're putting into our environment and how it might be affecting us. Stay tuned for more updates on this one. Until then, stay chill and stay informed. Here's another quirky nature tidbit for you today. Pretty funny too. Turns out, female European common frogs have some seriously crafty ways of avoiding those persistent suitors during mating season. Researchers at the Natural History Museum in Berlin have uncovered some fascinating tactics. Picture this. A pond full of eager males outnumbering the ladies. This leads to what's known as a mating ball, where multiple males vie for the attention of a single female. Sounds like a wild party, right? Well, sometimes it can get a bit too intense, and unfortunately, some females could end up in a tight spot. But fear not, these resourceful females have not one, not two, but three tricks up their sleeves to dodge unwanted advances. First up, we've got the roll and flip move, performed by a whopping 83% of the ladies. It's like a clever underwater somersault that leaves the persistent male all wet and confused. Next, there's the vocal protest, with 48% of females emitting grunts and squeaks. It's like a siren call telling the overeager males to back off. Some of those squeaks, well, that's still a mystery, but they sure know how to make their voices heard. And finally, the pièce de résistance, playing dead. About a third of females go for the Oscar-worthy performance, lying motionless for a good 2 minutes. Now, whether this is a conscious act or just a reflex under stress, we can't say for sure. But it does the trick. Interestingly, the younger, smaller females are the real maestros of these maneuvers. It seems they've got more to prove, having faced fewer breeding seasons. But regardless of size, a whopping 46% of the ladies managed to make a clean getaway. Now here's the kicker. These strategies aren't just confined to the lab. They've been spotted in the wild too. Turns out, frogs are full of surprises. And why does this matter? Well, it turns out understanding these quirky mating behaviors could actually play a role in conservation efforts. The European common frog has been facing some challenges due to changes in climate, and every little bit of insight helps. So there you have it, folks. Nature never ceases to amaze us with its inventive solutions. And who knows? Maybe we can all take a page from these frogs' playbook the next time we need to gracefully dodge an unwanted situation. Keep it chill out there. And that concludes our news bits for today. I hope you enjoyed those. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Area 51 and Bob Lazar. Can't wait to get into this. This is some good stuff here, guys. Remember, I'm also looking for your products to push. I need advertisements. I'm looking to do 3 per show. I figure that's not too spammy. 1 in the beginning, 1 in the middle, 1 at the end. If you have a product on Etsy, if you have a product that you have a web page for, if you have a company that you want to promote, please get in contact with me. Beyond the Dark Radio at Outlook.com. I'm looking for anyone, all right? I'm still taking voiceovers. And big shout outs to Mixkit.co. They provide all of the sounds and music that you hear on Beyond the Dark. If you make instrumental music or any type of music and you are interested in having your music featured on Beyond the Dark, please reach out to me at beyondthedarkradio at outlook.com. That's beyondthedarkradio at outlook.com. See you in a minute.
Welcome back to Beyond the Dark with Jay Rockwell.
Thank you, Michelle. Here I am, folks. Jay Rockwell. I'm back. It's Beyond the Dark, and we're diving into the main topic, Area 51 and Bob Lazar. I'm thrilled to kick off our journey into the world of the unexplained with a topic that's captivated minds for decades, Area 51. This clandestine military facility, nestled deep in the Nevada desert, is shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Today, we're going to peel back some of those layers and explore the secrets hidden within. Now, let's set the stage. Area 51 is a top-secret U.S. Air Force facility, officially known as the Nevada Test and Training Range. It's located about 83 miles northwest of Las Vegas, right in the heart of the vast Nevada desert. But what makes Area 51 so enigmatic? Well, for starters, it's been linked to numerous conspiracy theories and alleged extraterrestrial encounters. One of the most famous incidents is the purported crash of an unidentified flying object near Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. We did cover that in the first episode of Beyond the Dark, so if you haven't listened to it, go back and give it a listen. Now, you might be wondering, what does Roswell have to do with Area 51? Well, it's believed that wreckage from the Roswell incident was transported to Area 51 for further analysis, fueling speculations about extraterrestrial involvement. Now, let me regale you with a story that's become emblematic of Area 51's mystique, the legend of Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar's story is one of the most captivating and controversial tales associated with Area 51. Born in 1959, Lazar grew up with a fascination for science and technology. He held degrees in physics and electronics, and by the late 1980s he was gaining a reputation as a bright mind in the field. In 1989, Lazar made startling claims that could change the course of his life forever. He alleged that he had been employed at a facility called S4, which was situated near Groom Lake, not far from Area 51. According to Lazar, S4 was a covert section of the facility dedicated to studying and reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology. Lazar's assertions included encounters with 9 flying saucers of extraterrestrial origin. He described these crafts as sleek, disc-shaped, and powered by a mysterious anti-gravity propulsion system. Lazar further claimed that he was tasked with back engineering the advanced technology to understand its functionality. One of the most astounding aspects of Lazar's account was his description of the propulsion system. He asserted that it operated on an element 115, now known as Moscovium, a theoretical heavy element at the time. According to Lazar, element 115 was essential for the functioning of the alien spacecraft. Lazar's revelations sent shockwaves through the ufology community and the wider public. His story was featured in interviews with the investigative journalist George Knapp, airing on Las Vegas television station KLAS. These interviews, conducted with a shadowed, disguised Lazar under the pseudonym Dennis, added a layer of intrigue to the already sensational claims. However, Lazar's account faced significant skepticism and scrutiny. Critics questioned his credentials and his ability to produce verifiable evidence to support his claims. Some also pointed out discrepancies in his educational background. Despite these challenges, Lazar's story has persisted over the years, with the supporters hailing him as a courageous whistleblower and skeptics dismissing him as a hoaxer. His assertions have also been a focal point for researchers and enthusiasts delving into the mysteries of Area 51. In the decades since Lazar's initial disclosures, the legend of Bob Lazar continues to be a cornerstone of ufology and conspiracy theories surrounding extraterrestrial technology. His claims have been the subject of numerous documentaries, books, and discussions within the paranormal and UFO communities. Whether one believes Lazar's account or not, his story has undeniably left an indelible mark on the lore of Area 51 and the broader conversation about unidentified flying objects and extraterrestrial encounters. It remains a testament to the enduring fascination and intrigue surrounding the secrets of the Nevada desert. Now, let's pivot to the official stance on Area 51. For decades, the U.S. government denied the very existence of this facility. It wasn't until 2013 that the CIA publicly acknowledged its presence, albeit without divulging classified details. So why all the secrecy? Well, Area 51 has been instrumental in the development and testing of cutting-edge military aircraft, like the U-2 spy plane and the stealth bomber. The secrecy is crucial to maintain a strategic advantage. But it's this very secrecy that has fueled wild speculations about extraterrestrial technology and government cover-ups. The allure of the unknown continues to draw researchers, enthusiasts, and conspiracy theorists to the edges of the Nevada desert. Remember, the truth often lies somewhere between what's officially disclosed and the speculative narratives. It's a place where science fiction and reality converge in a dance of intrigue and wonder. Continuing our journey, let's delve deeper into the cultural and societal impact of Area 51. The facility has not only been a hotbed for conspiracy theories, but also a muse for various forms of media, including movies, TV shows, books, and even music. The enigma surrounding it has permeated into our culture, creating a phenomenon that transcends generations. Movies like Independence Day and TV shows like The X-Files have drawn inspiration from the mysteries of Area 51, crafting narratives that blend fiction and popular conspiracy theories. These stories often depict the facility as a hub where government secrets, especially those pertaining to aliens and UFOs, are deeply buried away from public scrutiny. Moreover, Area 51 has also become a symbol of government secrecy and the unknown in the public consciousness. It represents the human curiosity and skepticism towards authority, sparking countless debates and discussions about the transparency, ethics, and the lengths to which governments will go to protect their secrets. In 2019, this cultural phenomenon reached a new peak with the Storm Area 51 event. Remember that? A Facebook event, created as a joke, invited people to storm the facility en masse to see them aliens. It quickly went viral, with millions of people expressing their interest to attend. Although the actual event transformed into a peaceful gathering and festival, it underscored the pervasive curiosity and the collective imagination that Area 51 stimulates in the public mind. The secrecy shrouding Area 51 has also led to a proliferation of myths and urban legends. Stories of alien autopsies, secret government meetings with extraterrestrial beings, and the development of super advanced technology have become synonymous with the facility. These tales, whether rooted in any factual basis or not, continue to fascinate and enthrall people worldwide, providing a rich tapestry of speculative thought and creative exploration. In the scientific and skeptic communities, Area 51 also serves as a case study in the dissemination and persistence of conspiracy theories. It poses questions about why such theories take hold and how they can shape public perception and disclosure. The stories and theories about Area 51, despite their often speculative nature, have real-world implications, influencing everything from pop culture to government policy. As we conclude our exploration, it's essential to ponder on the myriad ways in which Area 51, a secretive military base, has become so deeply embedded in our collective imagination and cultural psyche. It stands as a testament to humanity's insatiable curiosity and our eternal quest to explore the unknown. Thank you for embarking on this extended journey into the mysteries of Area 51 with us on Beyond the Dark. Keep pondering the mysteries of the universe, and until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and never stop exploring. And for our trivia question of the week, and just by the way, I got no one to email me for last week's question about Stonehenge and the crop circles. And it was a little disappointing because there were a couple of people, I think, in the chat when the show premiered. They were like, oh, I know that answer. But nobody emailed me. No big deal, though. But hopefully we get a participant this week. Today's trivia question, and the trivia questions will always go along with the main theme. Feel free to scroll back and give some listening. Please do not use Google. Let's use our brains for these questions. But here's the question. Ready? What is the alleged propulsion system that Bob Lazar claimed to have worked on at Area 51? I'll repeat that. What is the alleged propulsion system that Bob Lazar claimed to have worked on at Area 51? If you know the answer, please, first person to email me the correct answer at beyondthedarkradio@outlook.com will win some points. And we're still coming up with a point system and what we're going to do with those points. But please, let me know if you have that answer. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, I got short story time for you. We're going to continue Harvest Moon. I'm going to read you chapters 2 and 3, very short. Just should be about a 5-minute segment, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Again, shout-outs to mixkit.co for all the sounds and music you hear on Beyond the Dark. If you would like your music featured on Beyond the Dark, please reach out to me at beyondthedarkradio@outlook.com. That's beyondthedarkradio@outlook.com.
You're listening to Beyond the Dark with J. Rockwell.
Here I am, and I am back. I hope you guys enjoyed that new little music piece and new voiceover. I screwed it up last week, but not this time. Really dig that. That's from Paul. Thank you, and shout outs to Paul for that voiceover. We're gonna go right into our short story segment. If you missed last week's, please, if you're interested at all, just go back to the last video, which should be crop circles and their mysteries, and chapter 1 will be in that. If you want to look at the few images per chapter, I do have the links where these stories are hosted on my website at arctictavern.com, so check those out. All right, Harvest Moon, Chapter 2, Shadows in the Woods. The moon cast a pale glow upon the dense woods surrounding Havenbrook as Sarah ventured deeper into their mysterious embrace. Her steps were cautious, her senses heightened, as if the very trees whispered secrets in hushed tones. The nights grew colder, mirroring the chill that settled in Sarah's bones. The disappearances in town had become more frequent, leaving an air of unease that hung heavy in the air. The peculiar stranger's words echoed in her mind, fueling her determination to uncover the truth. One evening, as Sarah delved deeper into the heart of the woods, she stumbled upon an abandoned shack. Its wooden exterior weathered and worn, it stood as a silent sentinel amidst the encroaching darkness. A flickering lantern caught her attention, casting dancing shadows on the shack's decaying walls. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Sarah stepped cautiously into the dilapidated structure. The air within hung heavy with the scent of mildew and decay. The floorboards groaned beneath her weight, as if sharing their own trepidation. In the dim light, Sarah's eyes fell upon a collection of faded photographs scattered across an old table. She carefully picked them up, studying the faces captured in time. Strangers with hollow eyes stared back at her, a haunting reminder of lives forever lost. As Sarah's gaze shifted to the walls, her breath caught in her throat. They were adorned with newspaper clippings, articles chronicling strange occurrences in Havenbrook over the years. Stories of unexplained vanishings, sightings of bizarre creatures, and whispers of a hidden presence lurking in the shadows. She traced her fingers over the faded ink, trying to piece together the puzzle before her. The shack seemed like a vault of forgotten secrets, and she was determined to unlock its mysteries. With trembling hands, she pocketed the photographs and clippings, vowing to share her findings with Tom, the mechanic who had once dismissed her curiosity. As Sarah made her way back through the woods, shadows danced at the edge of her vision. She quickened her pace, sensing an otherworldly presence closing in. The air grew dense with an unnatural silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves underfoot. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the darkness, a humanoid silhouette with an ethereal glow. Sarah's heart raced, her legs frozen in place. The stranger's eyes locked with hers, and she could feel the weight of his unspoken words. "Trust no one, Sarah Miller," he whispered, his voice a chilling melody, "for they wear the faces of your friends, your loved ones. Their intentions are not of this world." With those haunting words, the figure vanished, leaving Sarah to grapple with a newfound terror. The darkness seemed to close in around her, a suffocating embrace that left her breathless. Chapter 3. The Harvest Begins. Havenbrook awoke to an atmosphere tinged with fear and uncertainty. The disappearance of a local farmer's son, Ethan, sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community. The town rallied together, desperate to uncover the truth behind these mounting tragedies. Tom Johnson, the skeptical mechanic, found himself drawn into the mystery that had gripped Havenbrook. Ethan's father, John, sought his help in deciphering the cryptic clues left behind. Together, they pored over Ethan's belongings, searching for any semblance of an explanation. Amidst the belongings, they discovered a worn journal filled with the farmer's meticulous scrawls. The entries detailed strange encounters with individuals who exhibited an uncanny resemblance to their loved ones. They spoke of an invisible force that seemed to control the town, manipulating the minds of its inhabitants. Tom's skepticism began to crumble as he and John delved deeper into Ethan's findings. It became evident that Havenbrook was not merely plagued by unexplainable phenomena, it was under the grip of an alien presence. As night fell, Tom led John to a hidden spot deep within the woods, a location discovered through Ethan's journal. The earth beneath their feet felt charged with a peculiar energy, as if the very ground harbored secrets waiting to be unveiled. With trembling hands, Tom removed a layer of brush and exposed an entrance to a hidden underground lair, a place of unimaginable horror. The walls were lined with rows of transparent pods, each containing a slumbering figure. It was a chilling sight, a grotesque display of human-like creatures nestled in their cocoon-like enclosures. The truth crashed down upon them like a tidal wave. Havenbrook had become a harvesting ground, its citizens unwillingly providing sustenance for these alien beings. Tom's skepticism transformed into righteous fury as he swore to protect his town and save those who remained. Word spread through Havenbrook, and a sense of urgency filled the air. The townspeople, once skeptical like Tom, began to question the nature of their friends and neighbors. The threat was no longer confined to the shadows. It was hiding within the very fabric of their community. Sarah, armed with the revelations from the mysterious shack, joined forces with Tom. Together, they exposed the alien presence to those who would listen. But paranoia spread like wildfire, eroding trust among the townspeople. Accusations flew, and lines were drawn between those who believed and those who clung desperately to denial. As the harvest moon loomed on the horizon, casting an ominous glow upon Havenbrook, the fate of the town hung in the balance. The remaining citizens, torn between fear and determination, braced themselves for the impending battle against their hidden adversaries. And that concludes chapters 2 and 3 of Harvest Moon. I hope you enjoyed them. We'll do another couple chapters next week. I just want to remind everyone, please, if you have any stories, experiences, encounters, questions, I love emails. Send me an email, beyondthedarkradio@outlook.com. I am going to get the old school P.O. box eventually. I'm going to look into that. I think that would be cool. I know we're in 2023, but I love me some old school handwritten communication, or even if it's typed out on paper. And then you can mail me something. How about that? Also, please do not forget, in just a couple more weeks, we have our Halloween special, our first Phantom Frequencies. That will debut on Halloween night at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm very excited. I'm very pumped up. I'm taking all stories until there's a cutoff point, and even then I'm still taking them. They just probably won't be able to be fit into the first show. We'll have to do it on the next one. Also, don't forget we have our Discord that's open now with custom art Bell and Beyond the Dark emotes. Come and join the community where we can have real-time chat, have movie nights, hang out, share pictures. You can ask me questions, and everything's in real time. So it's a free app that you can download on your PC or your phone. The link is down below in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like, please hit the sub button, and also turn your notifications on so you can get pinged whenever I make a post or Beyond the Dark goes live. I want to thank all my coffee supporters out there, Michelle, Afros Animation, and the anonymous donor. I greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And we're going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a great night, and we're going to see you next week for Beyond the Dark. This is Jay Rockwell. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.